Our final text editor that we will take a look at is the Vim text editor. A little bit more powerful, but also a little bit more complex. Now look at this, our glorious command line, and let's try opening up Vim. If I try and edit the myfile.yaml, we can see that the Vim text editor is not installed by default. But look how helpful Ubuntu can be. It gives me some alternatives that I might want to choose. So I can see the first one is going to work well for me, the command line version of Vim. So I'm going to go through and use that. I'm going to add in the option -y so it doesn't prompt me to install Vim. And it will go ahead now and download and install and configure Vim on my system. With that done, I can go through now and easily edit the YAML file or any of the other text files that we've been looking at. As I go through and look, being a YAML file, again, I get my syntax highlighting, so I can easily see the key and values that I have. But let's say that I want to go to the end of the file and insert a line at the end of the file. Well, I can move to the end of the file using uppercase G. I can see my cursor now is on the N of name, and we can also see in the bottom right-hand corner the line number that we're on. Well, let's say now we want to navigate back to the first line. Well, for that, we use one uppercase G. And of course, I can then use uppercase G to take me back to the bottom of the file, one uppercase G to take me to the top. And would you believe if I use three uppercase G, I move down to the age line. Now, once you become familiar with these shortcuts, they become very quick to use. But let's move now again to the bottom of the file, so uppercase G, and I'm going to use O to insert a new line. I can hit my return. The syntax highlighting wants me to indent by moving back to the left-hand margin, and I can go through and add in a new key. But notice how using the lowercase o, I added a new line and went into insert mode. And we can see that from the bottom of the screen. As I then start typing, you can see I'm getting the same type of syntax highlighting as we saw before. As I go through and put person in again, let's have a person 2, a separate person. As I hit return, it does always want me to indent, which isn't always going to be the case, but is useful here. So I can put the name to be Alice, but you can see then on the second line, I have to move back to make sure the city is lined up with name. And I can go through and say that to be Denver, and maybe her age is 22. Once I'm ready with all of this, then maybe I now want to move back to the start of the file. And if you remember, that was one uppercase G. So I hit escape to take me back to my normal mode, and then one uppercase G to take me to line 1. I don't want to type 1G now. I want to navigate with it. I can then hit uppercase O, and uppercase O inserts a line above my current position where I can then go through and put a YAML header of 3 dashes. I can then hit escape and colon. Now look at the bottom left-hand side of my screen. We can see that I'm in command mode where we're saving the file. So Vim does take a while to learn, but I'll be demonstrating it as I edit files for the rest of this training. But it does take a while to learn, but it is worthwhile learning.